All right, you guys, we are back. Happy Friday. Look, I don't know what you went through this week. I know what I went through, and I only know my story. But I also know that we are not here to suffer in silence. We are not here to be silent, and we are here to lift each other up. So if you've had a tough week, just remember better days are up ahead. And if you've had a great week, lift someone else up who might have not had a tough week. Okay. I know I slurred my words a little bit there. You know what I mean though, right? Like if you have somebody that is back here and you have the ability to bring them with you, do that. That's what I do. And that's why I'm doing these videos. If you think I do not have challenges in my life, please believe you got another thing coming. Okay. Because I promise you I do. And I don't air all my stuff, but I do have people, close people that I know I can reach out to. So if you are in a season where everything around you just seems like it's falling apart, I need you to find someone, even if it's me. I don't care. If you don't know me, that's okay. We can get to know each other. All right. Ask for help, reach out. Okay. There's absolutely no reason why any of us should be suffering in silence. That is where the enemy uses everything to bring us to depression and to make us feel like we're not good enough and to tell us we don't need to be here. Those are lies. Okay. So this video is going to be kind of partnering with the video I did on Tuesday, and we're going to continue to talk about limiting beliefs. All right. So today I'm going to give you some practical tools and techniques for personal growth. These are tools that I use daily. I'm not going to say I used them because that's past tense and I'm still in it. Okay. Every single day I tell my clients, I'm coaching me, you just get to benefit, right? Even when I do these videos, these are reminders for myself as well. Okay. So please don't think you're alone because you are absolutely not alone. All right. So we've talked about limiting beliefs and how they can hinder personal growth and success. Limiting beliefs is basically what we tell ourselves we aren't good at, what we can't accomplish. You know, those are the lies that we tell ourselves so we can't get closer to our purpose in life. All right. So let's talk today about some practical tools and some exercises. All right. So here's some tools. Journaling. I know a lot of people are like, I'm not a writer. Well, if you tell yourself you're not a writer, guess what? You're not a writer. Okay. If you tell yourself you don't want to read books or you're not good at reading books, guess what? You're not going to read books and you're going to miss out on a whole bunch of stuff that is right in front of you. I had someone the other day, I asked them, now I want you to listen to this because in this conversation, my blessing was taken away. I want you to think about this the next time you respond to someone. There's a person that I have been coming in contact with, and she had mentioned that she was trying to kind of figure out what gym she wanted to go to. She doesn't really get into strength training, but she's on her health journey. And it took me a couple days, but I saw the person again. And I said, because it was on my heart. It was on my heart to gift her a copy of my book called Reclaim Your Life. Okay. That was the original book that I published back in 2020, where it talks about mindset, time management, self care, nutrition, exercise, and consistency. Okay. So I said, so the first question I asked, because I wanted to see where she was. And so I asked this question on purpose. I said, so, we're talking, it wasn't the first thing I said, but we're talking. And I said, hey, do you read? Do you read books? And you know what she said? No, my brain is all over the place. I can never concentrate. She was like, I listen to podcasts. And I said, okay. I said, well, that's a shame. I said, the reason I asked is because I have a chapter in my book. I wrote a book I published it back in 2020. And it's about exercise and strength training. And I just remember you had been mentioning that before. And she was just like, yeah, I can't concentrate. And I said, okay. And I said, well, maybe one day you'll get to that point. I said, I did. I said, there was times where most of my life I wasn't a reader as well. And it wasn't until I allowed myself to be a reader that I finally began to read some great books. And she was just like, oh, she was like, well, maybe I'll get there one day. I said, yeah, sure you will. And I have to remember, I'm probably a whole lot older than her too. She's pretty young. But when she didn't accept my gift, now I do usually tell people, if you're gonna accept it, please read it. Don't just accept it and then put it on the shelf just to make me feel better about myself. That's not the purpose for it. If I gift a copy of my book, it's because I have tools and information and education in there that I know will help you. But if you just put it on the shelf, it's not going to help you, right? So every time someone, purchases a copy of my book, especially when I'm in person, I say, "Are you going to read it?" And they'll kind of look at me, and I'll tell them the same thing. It won't help you if you put it on the shelf. And it's one of those things that we have to think about. Okay. So I didn't mean to kind of caveat into that, but I know a lot of people, when I talk about journaling, they're like, "Well, I'm just not a writer." Okay, well, guess what? You're never going to be able to write because you're telling yourself that you're not a writer right now. Now, you don't have to be an author. This is not for anyone else. Now, if you get to a point where maybe one day you want to share it, great. But that is not the purpose of journaling. The purpose of journaling is for your mental health. It's for you and only you. So if you think that you have to be perfect for yourself, that's a problem. And you need to address that ASAP. Okay. So I'm telling you to journal because a lot of times we just need to be able to write down our limiting beliefs and really analyze, where are these thoughts coming from? And you may not even know. I've been through a couple of therapies, one called EMDR, and now I'm going through another one called NET, neuro emotional technique. Neuro emotional technique is showing me that a lot of these limiting beliefs came while I was being formed in the womb. Okay. So these are genetic dispositions. These are things that, the programming that was in my mom and my dad that formed into me. Okay. But I can still work through them. That does not mean I can't change. Okay. If I tell myself I can't change, oh, this is just who I am, blah, 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 which I've done that before, right? This is just who I am. Yeah, I am who I am, but that doesn't mean I can't be better. But again, I have to be doing it for me, not the rest of the world. Okay. So do these things for yourself. Everybody else around you, I promise you from my own personal experience, they will benefit, but start and do it for you. Okay. Analyze their origins. See if you can remember where that limiting belief came from. And if you can't, that's okay. Leave it alone. Just leave it alone. Don't start stressing about it. Don't go down the rabbit hole. Just leave it alone. But I want you to really look at it, okay? This requires self-reflection. Self-reflection techniques are to challenge and reframe negative thoughts, okay? It's time to change our programming. Our programming is killing us. And I'm not saying that to be funny. There are far too many suicides happening right now. And I'm going to tell you, I've had those thoughts too. We have to change the programming. It is time. Because if we just keep running the same programs, not only are we suffering in silence, but we're suffering so much that eventually we see no way out except death. And if that's where you are, please reach out to me or call 988, the suicide hotline, please. Because I'm going to tell you right now, you are meant to be here. If you woke up this morning and if you continue to wake up, and I don't care what you believe in, but I always say, if God is waking me up every morning, that means I'm still supposed to be here. My purpose has not been fulfilled. My calling in life, I probably haven't even found it yet. Because I'm going to tell y'all right now, this ain't everything. What you see right here with me, this ain't even it. I'm just taking the steps forward because I want to get closer to my calling now. I don't want to keep going farther behind. I've been there. So we have to use these self-reflection techniques. We have to begin to change the software programs in our brains because they have been hardwired into us far too long. And if the people around you are making you feel worse about yourself, please get away from them. I don't care who they are. Sometimes it's your kids. Now, I'm not saying you leave your kids, right? But take breaks. Take breaks. And if anything, protect your peace. Save your energy because they're going on a journey too. And that's something I've had to learn here recently. Okay. Let's talk a little bit about positive affirmations. Positive affirmations are the things that we tell ourselves, even if we don't believe them yet. And I want to say yet, because anytime we tell ourselves that we can't do something, we have to remember to put that 3-letter word on the end. I can't do this yet. But if we're doing positive affirmations, I can learn how to do that. Okay. Get around people that know more than you. I always say, if we're the smartest person in the room, I am in the wrong room if I am the smartest person. Now, can I be the smartest person in health and wellness? Sure. But should I be the smartest person overall? No. No. Be around people who are farther ahead than you. Because chances are they are going to be that person who can reach back and bring you with them. But I'm going to tell you right now, if you're not willing to go, they can't help you. Okay. I can't help you if you don't want to be helped. I can't help you if you don't meet me halfway. No one can help me if I don't do the same. I have to be the same client I desire to work with. You got to meet people halfway. They can't do it for you. Okay. You got to be willing to do the work. So think about some affirmations we can say. I mean, some of them are in the Bible, right? Like beautifully and wonderfully made. I had to say that to myself for a long time. I am beautifully and wonderfully made in God's image. I am enough. I can do hard things. I am beautiful, whether I see it or not. I know that now. I am valuable. I have more value in me than most people even realize. Tell yourself that because if you start valuing you, guess what? Chances are they will too. And I'm learning that too. But as soon as I start devaluing myself again and allowing people to just reach out whenever and contact me whenever, and I'm like, oh, I got clients paying thousands of dollars for that, right? I can't give people who aren't valuing me the same value. So we have to learn to value ourselves. So tell yourself you're valuable, all right? You have to do this every day. I used to have these things plastered, and I have it in chapter 1 of my book. I have a whole list of affirmations, the things that I was telling myself, and I would have them hung up in the bathroom and in the kitchen and in the living room, wherever I sat at my desk, right? Like wherever I was going to be, I had them in my car. I had them all over the place. Okay. You have to say them every day until that programming starts to shift. And then you keep doing it. Because even though the programming starts to shift, doesn't mean it will keep shifting if we stop doing the things that work. It's just like weight loss, right? It's like we know that going to the gym, tracking our foods and eating right and making sure that we're getting enough nutrients, we already know that works. But what happens is some people do it for, they do it for a little bit of time and it starts working and then they freak out or life happens and then they stop. And what happens? They go back where they were, right? It's a continuing thing. We have to keep going, all right? Now, I'm a visual person. If you're not, that's okay. But I want you to try to start to be. Because again, if you say, I'm not a visual person. You will not be a visual person, but you can begin to implement that into your practice. And honestly, we're all visual people because we all dream. We all dream. Okay. So we have to really hone in on visualizing what we desire. What are the desired outcomes of the things that we're doing? What is the desired outcome of me doing this video right now? Well, obviously, I want to have the most impact on as many people as possible the time that I am here today. Because today is promised, right here, right now is promised. I'm breathing, I'm alive, right? But tomorrow's not. So if this is the last thing people get from me, at least I know I did what I could, right? And obviously, I have my link to book a strategy call with me, right? It's right there. I want to be able to take you a step further. So book a call. I got my website on there, my link tree. Like if you want a copy of my book, if you want to get, I have everything right there for you. All right. So that's the desired outcome. When I first started visualizing what was this going to look like when I started doing these videos, this is what I began to think about. I want to impact as many people as possible, but I also want them to be open and willing to connect on a little bit deeper level. Now, I can't want that for you any, more than you want it, but that is the desired outcome. And I had to start visualizing, what does that look like? What does that look like? That looks like stages. That looks like impacting many people at one time. That looks like one-on-one clients, right? That's the desired outcome. That's that visualization. That's the things that you have to do. What do you desire in life? What does your life look like for you? Take every little piece of it. All right. I will be putting a link to a free worksheet inside the YouTube description. Make sure you download that worksheet. Okay. It has a place for you to write down in different columns, limiting beliefs in each column. And then on the next page, you write down the opposite. I have a little exercise in my book as well for that, where you're writing down something you tell yourself that's a lie, and then you say the opposite. And you start saying that opposite one as many times as you need to throughout the day until you start believing it every single day. That's how you form your affirmations. You take the negative thoughts and you turn them into positive thoughts. And unfortunately, most of us have more negative thoughts about ourselves than we do positive thoughts. It is very unfortunate. But a lot of it's due to our upbringing. A lot of it's due to the things that we've encountered in life. And that's okay. But we can change. All right. If you need to learn more about journaling, let me know. Okay. If you want more positive affirmations, please go to my link tree, purchase my book, and you will have the list of affirmations there. Okay. Definitely keep space to track your progress and reflect on your personal growth. Because unfortunately, we can't always look at side by side picture comparisons and see the mental growth. Okay. We can see physical changes when we do side by side, right? But we can't see the mental, and the mental is important, right? Because the mental facilitates the physical. We got to get this right first. All right. So make sure you're writing it down, reflect, just like you would keep track of your workouts. Okay. It's no different. So make sure you download the worksheet. I really hope that you decide to join the Step Into Your Greatness community. It is a free space. All you have to do is put a free profile, just like you would on Facebook or any other platform that you use, any social media. You always have to put your name and you have to put your username and all that stuff, right? This is no different. Okay. So I will have the link in there for that as well. It's in my link tree. Make sure you join it. Don't just sit back. Make sure you engage, interact. There's a ton of discussions already in there. Reply to some of them. Okay. Be supported. You don't have to be here alone. You don't have to suffer in silence anymore. And you can post anonymously. All right. I just want to be able to support you. So, whatever that looks like, please let me have my blessing. Subscribe to the channel. Make sure you like and share this video, and I will see you guys next week for more great content.